protect your soul. The seasons come and go like thoughts of you. Like a wave
Good morning, grasshoppers.
they change, but in a cycle that I can't lose.
Thought we'd go with something slightly more mellow on a Sunday morning.
To live through.
Good morning, Jeff. How are you, sir?
Just like another season.
It's going to be another great day. How is your tournament going? Is it a 2-day online event? I was noticing another student of mine was posting their games in the chess-based file. They were also playing an SCC online event yesterday. Very cool. 4 games then? Oh, you drew another GM. I know the one GM was unfortunately a forfeit. That's crazy. I feel like, just like FIDE ratings, when you play internationally in FIDE events, the U.S. Chess Federation gets a hold of those results and they apply them to your USCF rating. It's not like they're completely a separate rating. Oh, you beat another one. Nice. So, honestly, if you have good results online in tournaments, there should be a prorated small portion that affects your rating in the US chess. So, for example, the entire time I might have been losing my FIDE rating from 2200 to falling down to 2000 or so in FIDE rating because I'm playing these young Norwegian kids in Oslo. I was losing USCF rating points too. So, nice. That's pretty amazing. That was a good tournament, Jeff. And I could tell you were strong in Blitz. It's like one of those occasions, right? Like I met Conte de Luna in Dubai, and the guy beats the daylights out of me at the start. It took me a while to get comfortable with him, just like I needed more time with you, perhaps, because you beat me the 2 games that we played on the last day of the event. Although I didn't necessarily play well, you played great. And the same was the case with Conte de Luna. And then we have someone accusing Conte de Luna in chat of not playing by fair play rules, you know, maybe getting assistance. And I'm like, this guy actually is quite strong. He doesn't really need assistance. I mean, he plays unorthodox stuff and he has his accidents on occasion and he doesn't understand something, but this is the first day that I actually got up early enough to post on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook and promote the stream. I'll put it in the Discord and the dojo-worthy memes if I can. Dojo-worthy images, how about that? I couldn't figure out. I don't like taking pictures of myself, so I managed to find a nice effect to put in. And maybe I'll keep a catalog of them for various times that I'm going live, and that way I can just draw upon them. Now, I said that we'd be doing a little bit of Puzzle Street. Where are these guys? Sack, sack, and attack. S2112, good morning. Where did we leave off yesterday? We left off here. So, takes with check, right?
Check.
Swipes a piece. In between move before recapturing. It appears as though this queen is precariously guarded by a rook, which needs to guard a knight.
Check.
And of course, when we capture this rook, even if the king moves, we'll be able to capture the queen and it's a skewer. So we have a seriously overloaded rook. Probably only going to do about 5. Good morning, Tapas New. I didn't get my stuff done yesterday, I realized. I did get other things done. I did get some studying done. $2,000 in bullet only chess. That's excellent. You know what that really means, though, in terms of chess equivalency. That is, to me, a sign of your ability and willpower in chess.
Check.
Then, of course, we were going to recapture the queen on the back rank. I didn't mean for this to move on to the next one so fast. I like to talk about the positions a little bit. Yeah, the driving force in most blitz and the driving force also in most, especially bullet, is sheer willpower, determination, and focus. You cannot fake it. Radis Chen, good morning. How are you? Excellent. I'm gonna hold on to that one. Subscribe for your free study plan. I was also watching a lot of the World Series of Poker events that I've missed. I was trying to catch up on day one. The WSOP, basically, if you search for, I don't know if it's accurate either. I'll let you know if I think that it's accurate. I'm a pretty good and reliable source of all of those sites, because I know exactly how bad I am. I have no delusions toward objectivity or I have no delusions toward. So what is the difference between skewering the queen to the rook with knight a7 and knight e7? Well, knight a7 may allow check followed by check. So knight e7 is the only move to skewer the queen through to the rook, since the queen doesn't seem to have any ability to let's turn that on for a moment. Yeah, this would have been an absolute disaster, allowing this check. Here we have another one that seems to be a bit of overworkage. We would like to capture the queen, but they're going to capture our queen. So once again, we have an in-between move that protects our queen.
Check.
And when we capture their queen, we're winning material. In between moves, the secret to our success. So rook takes, f takes e4, king f2, king e3. Whoop, it's 803, and we've done 45. So we're going to be to that pawn in 2 moves, capturing on the 3rd. They're going to be moving 1, 2, and 3, so they're a little short. I don't know if we're going to have time for Puzzle Racer. I have a lesson immediately after. But I do want to make that a regular part of our training. I actually liked it a lot. So yeah, we're definitely putting it into the mix. I'm writing it in now. I would like to do a bit of Puzzle Streak just to show that it should be done. Puzzle Racer I'm going to add to the mix. And I need to allocate enough time before the tournament starts to do it, right? So let's do this, because if we're not in the dojo, by the way, 299 members in the dojo Rapid and Classical. Yesterday when we left off, we were just short of 295, I think. So every day we're gaining about a half a dozen members in the Rapid and Classical. And I would like to run them in the evenings as well when I'm home. I just don't know that I can advertise them twice a day, so I really have to plan ahead. This is the only week in which I'm going to be able to do it. Possibly Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Friday, one of my favorite students who achieved a great score. I actually didn't look at his result. He scored 4.5 points in a section playing 2 levels up.
Time is running out.
Schachspieler. This is my unknown move. Knight c3. I guess it should be no secret that we have a lot of students in our stream. Students of the game, students of life, academic students. Alright, so this is the straightforward way of doing it. I just want to protect my queen against any knight e4s. I don't actually have any plans to play e4 in the near future. Unless my opponent allows me to. So it looks as though we may actually transpose into a variation of the fantasy variation. I never thought about that. We could actually transpose into the fantasy variation of the Caro-Kann, where black plays e5 and queen a5. Let me just consider this for a moment. If I play e4, and my opponent plays d takes e4, f takes e4, e5, well, there's only one way to find out. So here, queen a5, h6, and e5 are the expected moves. This is the fantasy variation. Wow, I never thought I would. This is yet another transposition to another opening, which I had not expected. We're going to have to dig out and dust off our fantasy variation. Yeah, we're in the weekend rapid and classical. Thank you, Magnus Carlson, for showing up. Good morning. I think the last time I saw you, maybe you were in... I'm going to have to give up my bishop pair. Just because I don't like being pushed around. I think I saw you in Andres, Chess Coach Andres' stream. Yeah? So now we're about to get a very interesting situation here where I have an isolated e-pawn unless I use the outpost. We have something else going on here. It could be time for us to batten down some of these hatches. D takes c6 would be lovely, but for queen takes c6, and then the e4 pawn is hanging. As well as... Well, now I'm going to allow the doubled pawns. Am I going to allow the doubled pawns? Or am I just going to take the outpost? If I play... D takes e5, my opponent has e4. And he's going to double my pawns on c3 anyway. So let's keep him fixed as a weakness for the most part. Mm-hmm. Now we have a little bit of a serious trip on our hands. I have to endure the protection of my pawn because he has some tricks after knight b6, queen takes e5, queen takes e5, knight takes e5. If my bishop's on c4, he's taking on c4 and playing rook e8. My king is in the center, my pawns are crippled, I have a lot of dynamics going on here. I'm going to have to choose how to deal with this. It looks as though my king is staying in the center. I have very little choice in this matter. Good news is, after knight f6, queen takes e5, knight to g4, I can cross and cover with queen d4. Well, isn't that funny? My opponent has a provisional rating. He might not have any rating at all. I do need to stop queen to b6 check. That much is true. And now for something completely different. We have knight takes e5. Does he have any checks? Knight takes e5, knight takes d5, knight takes g6. Knight takes c3. And he has knight to g4 check if I'm not careful. So discoveries on my queen on this square are greatly annoying. This is always a possibility. Knight to g4 check. I have to really weigh this carefully here. Knight takes e5, knight to g4 check. If knight takes g4, basically he's winning a piece out of this deal. So we have to keep up the pressure. Indeed, he has knight to g4. So is it time for this move? Knight takes.
Time is running out. Check.
So how he chooses to capture is entirely up to him. But he does now have queen f5 check as an option. Well, that's interesting. Now there are no more checks, or are there?
Check.
Schachspieler 18. Do we go for the exchange sacrifice and try to weather this? Or do we just scoop away? We'll go this way. Yeah, we'll endure. Whether we have to play rook to e4, rook to b4, rook to g4. Too bad there's no back rank issues, right? Oh, it's too bad. So we have 4-2 on one side of the board with one pawn on the outside. Remember, it's 5 plus 5, so we have plenty of time to get this ball rolling. We need to protect our second rank, even if it's the hard way. Mm-hmm.
Check.
We're gonna hunker. Hunkering. Defense. Good morning, Lauren. How are you? Wow.
Check. 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 You lose.
Good game, Shanglei. The only good news about that particular game brand new account, of course. I should not have lost any rating points, right? I can't tell. Oh, I lost 6 rating points? Doesn't matter.
Ready.
More than likely, Shanglei is a player whose account has been closed for reasons we already may suspect. It's very rare. Kingslayer Sloan is really ready with this. Gaining time on the bishop, which doesn't normally happen if this were a knight f3 on move 2 line.
Check.
Well, hey there. Hello there. Let's get frisky with it. Staking out more squares, attacking and defending at the same time. Rogan Cho Sloan is streaming, by the way. Give him a quick shout out. I'm just going to grab another pawn. I want to be a greedy bastard. I'm going to grab all of the material in the world and run the risk that I will not have any problems. Yes. Is that a free piece? Let's find out. Let us find out. It's the pieces that you have in the center that count. Your fears. We do want to make sure that he doesn't castle. That much is true. No king safety for you. As I said before, it is about him not getting castled. If at all possible, it is about him not getting castled. That's interesting. Rook takes. It is a bishop pair after all. Don't have much choice in the matter. Well, let's throw this check in first, just for the importance of it all. Run it. Now, can I survive this? That is the question. On the ropes, as usual, I have a pawn for my trouble. Is that it? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's starting to look a little funny, isn't it? It is starting to look a little bit funny. But we did manage to hunker. So far, so good. Hunkering 101. And now, am I overworked? I am overworked. Wow. Rogan, you are in beast mode.
Check.
Beast mode, I tell you. He is getting better and stronger, faster. Can I do this? Is this queen out of play?
Check.
Mm-hmm.
Check.
We did manage to make it out with no further checks. One pawn up, somehow. Can I do this? He's trying to win my queen. How rude is that? How did happen? Oh, I have to be careful here, don't I?
Check.
Who has the more exposed king? It's a tough contest. Right?
Check.
Who has the more exposed king? That is the question. Can I do it this way? Still not, huh? Did we lose our sound? Can I do it this way? What happened there?
Victory.
Time pressure? Must have been. This could have been the day. Ska 234. I believe I have seen one of your puzzles. Sumi Pro. Please tell anything. After 40 minutes? No, I have no. I have to teach. I do chess professionally for a living. I enjoy streaming, and I rarely get a chance to play chess off stream. Unless it's during a lesson. Ah, the 3XK. This is always very kind of him. He gives me this huge lead in development, and then he plays the sniper. Which is a fairly good opening. Lee Chess tries to claim that it's the pterodactyl. I actually only think that it's the pterodactyl if you get a certain structure after this. Mm-hmm. It requires a certain structure after this. And you might be achieving that structure. You might actually be achieving that structure. Let's not give up on this option here. Getting our pieces out faster than our opponent. Well, that's interesting. Keep the pressure up on the dark squares. I don't actually know where my light squared bishop is going to go, but I also don't know where his knight is going to go.
Check. Check. Check.
This is going to get a little bit rough, Bobby. Just a little bit rough. And I'm willing to sacrifice for this.
Check. Check.
I have to make sure he's not going to allow mate. Is he going to allow mate? Bishop d6, king f6. e5 check, king f5. Bishop d3. King f4. Rook d4 check. King e3. Just seems too iffy. 2 pieces for the rook seems more than adequate, but I guess I can always repeat.
check,
If it doesn't work out.
check,
Yeah, we'll go this way instead. Better to have the king on that side of the board, or my bishop won't get trapped. Ruh-roh. Life is getting a little shticky, Moneypenny. Just a little shticky.
Where are you going? Oh, you're checking. Alright.
The Bubbas is trying to get outside. Does he have any entry points here? Well, isn't that fascinating? Let's just step up.
check, check,
Yeah, it wasn't the wisest idea.
check,
Not the wisest of ideas. That sounds like a great idea, actually.
check,
Geez, coordination. Geez, coordination.
check,
Now, Whoops. That's kind of a bummer. That is a bummer. Piece coordination. This is a very straightforward win, which I'm making very difficult. Really making this win difficult, I tell you.
Check. Check.
Somehow I knew that was coming. That bishop is protecting that square, sir.
Victory.
Sorry, man. My opponent destroyed me. You played the guy that I played in the first round, right? The 1500? Well, actually, he gained 700 and something rating points. Yeah. There's a small possibility we'll get those rating points back. If you want to do the honors, might be worthwhile. So, my video on YouTube, for those of you who have not yet subscribed to the YouTube, maybe we'll get to 70 today. Please subscribe to the YouTube, as I understand it. At 100, I get to add the proper channel name to it. Which I'm going to actually go for the original Master Chess Dojo, of course, not Master Chess Dojo _NM. If at all possible. $70, we made it. We made it to 70. That's cool. Maybe we'll make it to 72 today. I wish I had time to promote it. But we have a controversial endgame video that one person in the comments called BS. Or was it that? No, that was the Coaching Beware. The Coaching Beware snippet and the endgame snippet are not unlike sound bites or headlines, which encourage thought and thinking about what's going on. So, for example, in the Coaching Beware, I warn about coaches giving you moves, giving you openings, and doing all of that without you having an integral part of the process of finding those openings and finding those moves for yourself, which is key. I mean, it's par for the course, Eat-timers. I actually just wanted to discuss that with you, just to finish it. But basically, stuff like that's going to happen all the time, especially with brand new accounts. It's really unfortunate that Lee Chess is free in that regard, but it doesn't last long, and usually you can set parameters to not play them. Oh no, I was talking about the 1500 who's not a 1500. How are we going to barnacle this game? This game is a very technically difficult win. And now the dark squares are weak. You're going to have to barnacle some more. It's 1500 plus tax. Some attacks indeed. Yeah, I knew it when I played him as well.
Check.
I really don't understand people like that. I honestly do not understand people like that. So how do we make progress here? Seems as reasonable as any way of trying to create counterplay. But we've created so many weaknesses here. Well, I would have probably gone the other route with the queen g5, queen d8. Now white is running the risk of losing the game to underdog. Is there a way out of this? Does he continue on the white squares with the queen?
Check.
That's the end of the story. For underdog to get into that position, though, very tough, very tricky. So needless to say, the coaching beware is just to warn you against people that give you moves. And I would like to train, so I have training methods that I would like to try with stronger players. One in particular, and a systematic method at that, to a certain extent, toward building confidence and intuition, not necessarily technical skill. There's titled players who haven't even crossed 1900 on Lee Chess. Well, I remember someone pointing out that there was a foreign GM who was about 2190. I can't remember what the rating was. Yeah, there's a big snafu in the titled players that win the World Youth Championship or win the World Cadet Championships. So, candidate master titles, for example, are awarded to juniors who win, let's just say, the gold medal in the something or other event. Uh-oh, this is mate in one. Ouch. Did we have a choice? No, we had to protect our rook. Well, now that's a normal mistake by XD. XD Voodoo. Now that was an 1100 mistake. You didn't see Queen A1 mate. And will Rogan see Rook to B5 check? He did not see Rook to B5 check. Rogan had to see Rook to B5 check, knight takes stalemate. Rook to B5 check, king to C4, rook to C5 check for the draw. Rogan, you really needed to see that one.
Ready.
That was a very cool stalemating trick. I don't believe that it worked, but it might have worked because of the way the knight was positioned. If the king went anywhere else, then rook to c5 check still worked because queen takes c5 still forced mate, still forced stalemate. Ron Hay. Let's see if he adopts Ulf Andersson's approach against the King's Indian. This is an old Andrew Martin recommendation. On the pretense that White is going to play d5 at some point in the near future. One of the greatest books written of all time, Winning with the King's Indian by Andrew Martin. And it was a white edition. It was a white book. It had many, many creative suggestions. Uh-oh. Am I in that much trouble? Let's see. Bishop takes. Queen takes. Bishop takes. I am in that much trouble. Well, that's a bummer. That's a bummer. Yes, I am provoking exactly what I am provoking. About a innocent, about discontent. Feel it. Yes. Ron is outplaying me as usual. Ron is in relative full beast mood.
Check.
Miscalculations, hand over fist on my part. Seriously. Seriously, seriously, seriously. So many miscalculations on my part.
Check.
Do I want to do that?
check,
Double rook endings can be rather annoying. Why do I have 5 extra minutes on the clock, everyone? Oh no!
it's a draw,
I'm not going to turn you down, Ron. You are a gentleman and a scholar. Namaste. You are a gentleman. I appreciate it. Yeah, I meant to play rook f6. I marred our game so badly. I TP Veer. Yes, that is correct. I TP Veer. You may report him if you'd like. But it is possible that he came from... It is possible that he came from cheese.com. And it is possible that he really is Schachspieler doing a speed run. So this is a very normal thing for speed runs. Imagine if you were playing Hikaru Nakamura on a speed run. They start as a 900 player and they blast through the field. So, who knows? Sergei Sigalko and friends. Now, I have a small, old school Russian bias that I will admit to. And I've had a lot of Russian friends who told me that my bias is real. Basically, it is part of the Russian culture to find a way around the system to beat the man. And there's nothing wrong with that in a way, because everybody wants an edge on their taxes or an edge on their business dealings and things like that. That is a perfectly normal, acceptable, everyday trying to get something more for yourself than for your a greater edge for yourself than anything else. Pegasus, you are so good, and I have to thank him for the 10 gifted subs. I owe him a couple more studies on top of the ones that I'm so far behind. He's +2, which he can name later. I don't want to even think about it right now. But this is the week that I get to catch up, because I don't have anything scheduled for the most part, other than running items to Amazon returns and getting my daughter a phone. which probably isn't going to happen today, unfortunately, even though she just asked for it. Today is going to be 2 lessons, one online immediately after the dojo, and one later in person. And after that particular lesson, I'm also hoping for some downtime catching the movie Maverick, Top Gun Maverick. I want to see it on the big screen. If I wait to see it with anybody, I will not make it. It can't really happen, obviously. I'm just hoping that it's playing on 84th and Broadway in Manhattan, which is a couple of blocks away from my lesson. Sorry, Roken. 3XK, what was your poor play? Hold on here. What happened here in this game, 3XK? So all this is well and good. Let's just look at this for a moment. In theory, knight f3 should be an acceptable move. D takes c5, d5 is 48%, right? I should be playing d5 from now on. That is the point. And bishop d3, interesting. Did not realize that that was the favored move of many masters. Bishop e3, e5 is a mistake. Not sure why you felt the need. Previously, you had played queen to b6 against me, though. Knight f3 was played in the master game. That seems perfectly reasonable as well. This seems very precarious. But I wouldn't say that it's your poor play, 3XK. You're accepting a position that requires a tremendous amount of energy and dynamics. I'm going to repeat it again. It's not necessarily your poor play. You are putting yourself in a position where you have to play a couple hundred rating points above the position in order to win. Whereas if you answered e4 with e5, you would learn piece coordination from the ground up, and you would have no problems against any opponents because you'll always be equal with them. Knight to d5. I'm supposed to play knight to b5. How silly of me is that? He's got a gaping weakness. I just saw this pawn hanging after he takes my knight, and it happened in the game. They're suggesting bishop takes b2, and of course I was going to ignore bishop takes b2. They're suggesting h4. I was torn on that one. I wasn't sure whether or not I was going to play bishop to c4, but h4 seemed perfectly acceptable. What is the assessment of that position? Still good for white. Sacking the exchange. The third move is also good for white, which is bishop c4. Yeah, can you imagine that this is a real position? I cannot imagine that this is a real position. Why would you do this to yourself? None of your pieces are developed. So the 3XK, you should be starting to get tired of your bad openings. I know it's a known opening, but because it's a known opening doesn't necessarily mean that it's a good opening for you to play. This is another thing about gimmicky chess and Eric Rosen chess. I saw a video that he made coming out of post-COVID because he hasn't been posting to YouTube in a while. Get back to our game. And basically his opponent has checkmate in one move. Many different ways actually to checkmate Eric Rosen, and Eric Rosen framed this as a why I haven't been on YouTube or why I haven't been streaming lately, because he had COVID for a couple of months, and I want to play knight c3. Getting back to my old repertoire here. So this is commonly known as the Ragozin Queen's Gambit Declined. The Ragozin Queen's Gambit Declined does not entirely make sense for me on a old dogma standpoint, mainly because it is your good bishop that you're about to exchange, and I am used to the more traditional method of hanging on to your pieces. Just hanging on to your pieces. Now, is he really going to expose his king? I don't know. He might as well. Fair enough. King Exposure 101. The only drawback to this particular plan, and it is a major drawback, is that I have not committed my king to the king side. So how is this going to work out? He's got gaping holes on the white squares. I have rook c1, bishop b1, queen d3. I have bishop e5, h4. I have knight e5 and h4. And I do believe that I should continue in that same vein. I'm torn on the front of whether or not I should play this first or that first. I'm going to be recapturing on d4 with my knight anyway. All right. King f1 is tempting as well. And now for something completely different. The plan, as we have mentioned before and in the past. Oh no! This loses a pizza, maybe two pizzas. Two free pizzas. I definitely know that underdog is truly strong.
Check. Check. Victory.
He just falls victim to some bad openings as well. If you're tired of bad positions, play the main lines. I would start with an opening, you basically 3xk if you're listening. Are you there, sir? I mean, I'm not going to tell you which opening is the right one for you. I can't honestly tell you that. You are going to have to do a very diligent process of studying the games of an opening. That's why one of the greatest books of all time is 500 Master Games of Chess. Wherever it is here. 500 Master Games of Chess, or even better yet, go through the world's greatest chess games and play only the openings that you study from day to day as you go through them. So, for example, I open it up, Nimzo Indian Defense, Capablanca, Botvinnik, Rotterdam, 1938. I don't know that this is the game, but I believe this is the game where Capablanca makes a plan with knight b8, knight c6. He does knight b8, knight bc. He's got a knight on a6. He plays knight b8, knight c6, knight a5, knight b3, and wins the pawn on a4. Meanwhile, he gets crushed on the king side. Now imagine if you were to play that opening for both sides, the 3xk, you would win on both sides of the opening because most of your opponents are not going to find the crushing kingside plan, nor are they going to find the process for black. So already I open it up, and I would recommend that you play d4 as white, c4, and you're playing the white side of the Nimzo Indian. Now what does that mean for other openings though? If we go just before that, we have Rouser Botvinnik 1933 from the Sicilian Dragon variation. So that means you study this game as Botvinnik wins it as black, and you play the modern dragon, and you keep those ideas in mind, and you deal with the consequences come what may. Maxoeva Paul Keres, Rotterdam 1939, Queen's Indian Defense. So already you have Nimzo Indian, Queen's Indian, Modern Dragon as black. Or d4 is white. d4 and c4 is white. That is our repertoire. Just opening up this book randomly. We study those games through and through until you've internalized them like you would not believe. And you should internalize them. Now, it could be that some opening or another doesn't appeal to you right after you have studied them or after you've played them for a week. Basically, play them for, in my mind, John Fedorowicz, another great coach, Grandmaster John Fedorowicz, and I discussed how many games do you need to play with an opening before you know whether or not it's your opening. You know, I would love to say the Chessick number of 64. Basically, if you play 64 games with an opening, Kingslayer Sloan is running into bishop g4 here, unfortunately. I think he has to play f3 to try to save his bishop. No. Yeah, that was the short-lived. This is the same thing for Kingslayer Sloan as well. You have not yet lived until you've played all of the openings. You've got to learn to play chess as a whole. It's one of the reasons why I could play any opening. It doesn't really matter to me what opening I play. I will play all of them. And I will play all of them as well as I can. There's so many good moves here. Probably bishop e8 is best. Just to bring the bishop out on the other side of the coin. But it's a tough call. Queen e8. Queen on h1 isn't doing anything. Queen e8 might be the most dangerous. Is he going to play for f5? Yep, he could do that too. We're up a pizza, so white cannot exchange pieces in any way, shape, or form, nor can he open lines. He's just got to try to barnacle. Very tricky. Stuff is about to hit the fan. There's no reason not to take that. We have capture, 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 queen h8. Capture, 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 queen h8. Capture, 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 queen h8. One more time. Or that. The other piece is coming into the mix now. Believe it or not, this is the least of the worries in the position. There's another pressed piece is coming to bear on f3 as well. 3 pieces attacking, all worth less than the queen. This is not good. Ouch, this is going to leave a mark. This is sadism at another level. The reason why chess has this universal appeal to all human beings is because it has equal parts and equal sharings of within the recipe of sadism and masochism. And we all have these unfortunate traits. And in. I'm expecting one more really cool move on Ron's part. No pressure, Ron. Can it be played? That is the question. No, I guess it cannot be played just yet. Oh, oh. That could be it. That could well be it. Very cool move, Ron. Pegasus is a beast. It's been a little while. Time to plug the YouTube channel again. 71 subscribers would be great. Meanwhile, if you've not yet subscribed to the YouTube channel, we need you in order to put our name on that channel instead of the gobbledygook at the end. Yep. That move was coming. And now the checkmating of the queen will commence. Which is exactly what I was thinking about. Could be time to win this the old-fashioned way, unfortunately. We're having so much fun here. And now for something completely different. Yes. This move forces the matter.
Check.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. That was a puzzle streak puzzle. If there ever was one, that was a puzzle streak puzzle. We're moving right along. This is not so bad. "71 subscribers would be great." Sumia Pro, Reese Pool, our latest donator, Mad Quick Chess, Chop, where are we? Let's give Mad Quick Chess a shout out for that last one. And of course we need to give Reese Pool a shout out because he didn't get one properly yesterday at the right time. Reese Pool does have a very cool YouTube channel as well. You should be able to find it through his Twitch channel. He does less on Twitch. All right, Jeff. What do I want to do with you? The only thing that might stunt Chef's growth is the King's Indian itself. The King's Indian could stunt his growth. I would recommend classical chess at its finest. Basically, learning the King's Indian is an all-consuming job. We are a couple of tempi up now. Can we do this? Can we do the same plan? Now let's go for the bayonet. The bayonet looks a little bit more apropos in this particular situation, since we're like 2 moves up on a Petrosian variation. Bayonet is probably the best choice. Against many systems. Yes. Am I overworked? That is a good question. I am a little bit overstretched in a couple of ways. Might need to take once. It's kind of a bummer that I might have to do that. This is not the bayonet that I was hoping for. I am worse. There is no doubt about it. How much worse? That is the question. Yeah, knight to b5 was a little lame. I was hoping to keep the a3 bishop protected until I was able to create counterplay on the king side. But I wasn't. Yes. Let's decide. Well, if he's going to go that route. Two pieces for a rook. Oh no! Did I fall for that? Yes, I did. Well, it could have been worse. It could have been far, far worse. Nice work, Jeff. Couldn't punish d5. It is in, believe it or not, Andres Toth's d4 free repertoire on Chessable, by the way. 1d4 free repertoire on stable learning. He recommends against knight c. The early knight c6. He gives a line against involving d5, which is a pretty well-known slip on Jeff's part. Oh, Henrietta. Very annoying. when you get those follows on Instagram or Facebook, which are actually scams for pawn promotion sites, and you're really not interested in pawn promotion, there comes a point in your life when you're really not interested in pawn promotion. A rook end up in Ron Hayes' game? Oh no, did I miss it? Are we talking about the earlier one? C6, there we go. That is true. Yeah, it's crazy, right? One thing I'll hand it to Ron. Ron is at least as creative a player as I am. We definitely share that. Wow, what an exchange sack. I'm not sure if this is worthwhile. That general is very, very creative tactician as well. I definitely know where he comes from. Culturally, there are a lot of players, Jeff, that have tendencies toward tactics or solid positional play. That cannot be faulted. Ron Hay is making a go of it. He is making a real uber go of it. Now, how do I tell if this thing is fully charged? I think it's on its last legs of being fully charged. Bat General has his hands full. He's got the full wrath of Pegasus. You are more positional than tactical. Yeah, Ron is a very solid player, to say the least. Now, how to go about further tactical decisions. Personally, I would go with either rook to g3. I might have gone with rook to g3 or rook takes c3. But he's setting it up. Got 3 live pieces and 1 ready to come in for backup. And is this a threat? Not sure I think it's a threat. Unless the threat is to exchange queens after queen f7, queen f6. That could be the threat. But what is the story here? Why aren't these bishops just raking? I know one is threatening to rake. Therefore, a prophylactic move might be needed here. So it's 4 pawns to 5 pawns. And what does it all mean? This move to me is forced. But I've been wrong before.
Check.
Mm-hmm. This is all correct. There's no way back to the F file for the queen so easily without allowing further things that are good for black, including undermining the knight on d4, so white's move is forced. Not sure why white hasn't played it yet, but white's move is forced. Unless he's trying to make something work. Yeah, see, that move has been forced. So I'm like, now the hard part is improving the bishop on c8, which I might have done with bishop d4, cd4, and bishop f5 going to e4. Because this was coming. And these knights together are actually doing quite well. Does this work? Or do we just exchange pieces? Like we can do this, that, and the other thing. But we're forcing the rook to go to a good square. Ooh, it's not a good square. It is not a good square. That was the only square. Rook d6 would have been by rook e1 and bishop f4 check.
Check.
Wearing me down.
Check.
Hell out. Okay. Is it mate with the knights? Yes, it is. Ouch.
Check.
Ouch. Please tell me.
Check.
That was a forced mating net that was pretty easy to see. Yeah, I think we missed our chance to take that knight on d4, because the two knights were just starting to coordinate against our exposed king. That was bishop takes d4 and rook to the second rank or something along those lines. Oh no, bishop f5. Bishop takes d4 and bishop f5 was the way to get the pieces coordinated. That was a beautiful attack, yes. You said it, Eatonheimers. Eatonheimers sounds like it should be one of the guys who developed the atomic bomb. I feel like it is, right? Or is it one of the 5 guys that invented the transistor radio, 1945? The transistor. Or was it a war criminal? I can't remember. I think we looked this up before. We had looked this up before. Today is Nikola Tesla's birthday. I wonder if he was a chess player. Roblox. Such a great name, though. I'm not. Oppenheimer. UrbanDictionary.com. Oppenheimers. Thank you, sir. So Tesla practiced chess for a year or two? Let's take a quick peek if we have time. 3xk. Wow, I got flattened by Jeff. And this is the world's longest round since I got flattened by Jeff. Craziness. No, in the end game, it obviously.
Check.
I thought you were doing well
Check.
at this point. Oh no, you weren't doing well. So what was it? Rookie 8 I didn't like. I actually felt that you had to play bishop takes d4 and bishop f5, but maybe king g7 is the right way to go about it? Aha! Slightly better, but rookie 8 is the recommended move. Yeah, we're just down a pawn. So c4 on the 12th move, huh? I see. But I mean, rookie 8 wasn't bad. I wouldn't give it a question mark because it's equal. I would give it a dubious because it's equal. To me, a question mark is a move that gives the game away. To a degree. One degree or another. Yeah, it was hard to not defend that pawn, right? And now that the engine has had time to think about it on an i9 processor, with massive mega RAM, it believes that knight to b6 is better. Or knight f6. Either way, you're in trouble here, Ron. Either way, you're doing well here, Ron. Sorry. Got what side of the board we're on. Yeah, the very quick analysis function is not always so reliable. I don't know what c4 accomplishes, but maybe it does get you a better square for a knight, and it locks down on that square. Grand Mistress can never have enough Grand Mistresses, if you ask me. I'm not even sure what that says about me. So here, perhaps it was best to start battening down the hatches in this position, c4. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. One move earlier, maybe. 11 c4. Where are you from, Grand Mistress? GME. Much better to be a Grand Mistress than a Grand Master. What do you think? Are you a graphics designer, artist? Would you like to do emotes for me? That's the impression I get whenever I have someone who's too good to be true appear in my social media streams or whatever. I have to turn off my coffee warmer this time before I forget. Last time I almost burnt my cup. You're from Iceland. That's what I want. That's what I want. I want bad emotes and I want you to overcharge me. If you're from Iceland, I don't think you can do that. I think it's not in your vein to be dishonest. I will put you in the same Scandinavian ilk with the Norwegians and all of those who are actually quite honest. I love it to have a new follower. It really fuels the whole thing. Ah, I came to your stream. Yes, how are you? We rated you from another stream, maybe Z Bean's stream? That's great. You go by this name on Twitch. I can't remember when I went back. I was actually leaving for the day when she rated you. You need a longer name.
So now we're trapped in Fisher's mind, battling his own private army, and if we get killed...
Rogan Joe Sloan in full beast mode. It is great to have you, Grand Mistress Iron. I know you were trying your best in those games, and you love chess despite how bad you feel you are at it. But the real nature of chess and the problem solving and the way it makes our minds feel, because like our muscles, when certain people go to the gym, let's give Rogan a shout out, and I will give an about, just in case anyone in Rogan's stream has not met me before. I am National Master John MacArthur. I became an official certified FIDE trainer in 2016, but I've been teaching chess since 1984. I was born in Colorado. Yeah, it says say that in there. RJS. No, that is true. I've been teaching chess since 1984, and the thing that makes it even more amazing is that I'm only 39 years old. That's what makes it even more amazing. Being 39, pretty soon I will have been teaching chess since before I was born. That will be impressive. But yeah, Z-Bean has a special place in my heart because she's also a relatively new streamer. I admire you. Welsh Canadian. No, I mean, I admire you because you are making the trek through the fun era of chess. Wait, what? When? I don't remember what I said last. Welsh Canadian, thank you for the follow on Twitter, I think. The Welsh Canadian has also streamed in the past. I don't know if he's back at it or if he has, as many others have. Monster Hunter, Generations Ultimate. Good for you, Welsh Canadian. I know, since I've been teaching chess, if you do the math, be sure to follow me on my socials, but especially hit up the YouTube, which I desperately need to reach 100 in order to put my name on the channel so it doesn't look like a gobbledygook. Well, let's just say that in 2 years, because it's 2022, I will have been teaching for 40 years. And as it says in my about,
Hello there.
Rogan Joe Sloan, the legend, the man, the myth, from down under. Uh-oh. Thank you, Pegasus. Did I lose? Did I lose a game? Oh no, I lost a Bat General. Thank you, Rogan. I mean, thank you. Sorry, I was distracted by Grand Chess Mistress. Well, let's analyze the game, shall we? E6 is the best move, according to Stockfish. We need to let this sit for a little while, by the way. In fact, we should probably let it go deeper. We can also change the setting here on Lee Chess. Oh no! Somebody on timeout. The Welsh Canadian. Thank you, Roken. Or Dark Blade, thank you. I also had tried to arrow up using DOS key to go toward the previous one. So basically the Welsh Canadian dared to mention cheese.com. Got timed out. In our game, Roken, you gave away the exchange to bishop takes f2 check, and then I was slightly better. But I had a very exposed king, and then I think that you mouse slipped your queen in time trouble, or did something along those lines. And I don't think I have time for another game. Let's cut it back down to only 3 lines. That will increase the likelihood. Wow, it really thinks that the French defense is the best defense. E5 I already knew about. And it thinks 6f3 is the best line against the knight. I love seeing this, by the way. I already knew that knight c3 was the best move against the French. And of course, we already know that the Ruy Lopez Berlin variation, d3, is the mainline way to go. That was good game analysis from my loss with Bat General. Cheese.com. Yeah, join our Discord so that you may message me, or that I might message you, and we can perhaps do an online lesson or something. If you don't already have a Discord, this will work out. Definitely connect on my socials, though, including the Twitter. The Twitter, Instagram. I'm doing better now, getting it up, figuring out how to actually be proud of taking a selfie. All right, I do get one more game. Profund Unknown. What does Profund Unknown want to see? A Sicilian or a Carl Khan? I'm going with the Carl Khan, since I don't know him that well. Yesterday I played an entire day of Alekhine's defenses. Oh, you're going to go this route? Or that route? Yeah, I'm actually going to go this way. Now this is part of the process. We put the bishop on g4. So Grand Mr. Sion, it was great to have you. Thank you so much for stopping in, if you're still here. All right, meanwhile, back at the ranch, no, this is all part of the plan. I want to get rid of his white squared bishop. To me, the exchange variation is one of the more toothless variations, unfortunately. And now, that's a pretty good choice, but it doesn't stop me from playing what I'm going to play. Oh, really? We're going for our positional plus. Gets to play knight e5 check and knight in. That is a bother, I have to admit. That could be a bother. Do I really have to worry about this? F5? It is a little bit of a bother, but I'm not going to allow that to happen. Am I? Oh, is that the trick? Mm-hmm. Is that the trick? We're trading pawns? Oh, we're not trading pawns, I just guarded mine. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. Mm-hmm. Can I break through really quickly with that? I don't know.
Check. Check.
It's the power of the outside passed pawn. I'm very happy that Profund Unknown has finally got a chance. Professor Unknown has finally gotten a chance to play me. He came into the stream and he joined the dojo Friday, I believe. And because he joined the dojo on Friday, now that has no future, right? We're going after these very, very carefully and selectively. Let's win this end game. The old-fashioned way. One passed pawn at a time.
Check. Victory.
Sliming my way back to the podium, should I actually get there. Professor Unknown, how are you? Are you in the chat? The other day he was. The other day he joined, wanted to know how to play me, and I told him that if he joined the dojo, he would be able to play me almost every single day at one point or another. And if he didn't get to play me, he would get to play people in the dojo, all the students in the deshi of the dojo, who have shared the experience of trying to become better players with me. So overall, underdog CTL bumped me out. Good for you, sir. Who did you beat? You beat up on Ron. No, Ron, what did you do? If anybody was on the podium, I think it should have been you. So, Rogan, are you still here? Your first game, you missed you should have slimed Bat General, right? You should have slimed him. The very last position of your game was a draw. Believe it or not, the very final position of your game was a draw. You fought so well to get through this game. Wait, is this it? No, it wasn't this one. Never mind. Hold on. We need to find this game. It must have been this one. No. That one you hung your queen. I thought it was your first game. Was it someone else's game that I was looking at? Or was it the reverse? Oh, it was this one. X-Voodoo had a chance to slime you. Never mind, I had the colors reversed. For some reason I thought that it was your first game of the tournament, so that way I looked at the things and I forgot that you were here. So overall, you played this game very, very excitingly. So anyway, you got all the way down to this position where he got a queen, I believe, right? And then he misses mate in one. Check. So he misses mate in one here. Rogan misses mate in one. And Rogan plays king here, and the opponent misses check for the draw. Literally, this rook cannot be taken. So he misses rook check. And of course, if it's taken, it's stalemate, right? Oh, but it does have king e3. I also considered in chat that we also have this option, which is also stalemate and also a draw. But he does have king to e3, so Rogan, you can escape. But it was very sketchy because you missed mate in one the first time. And when you miss mate in one, you don't need your king close. This is a king and queen mate concept that you just never really want to find yourself in. So this is a king and queen mate scenario that we never ever really want. So stepping the king closer never occurred to me. This one, of course, should have occurred. Any other move is probably, you know, queen f3, f7, e7. Queen e7 looks like it's probably the best objective move if I weren't to play anything else, because I don't want to drive him away. Yes, you missed the easy mate. But it's understanding the powers of the pieces in the endgame. Ironically, the endgame helps you understand the knights and the bishops better, and we will do more of that. As I say on stream, until it wasn't. It was a good game until it wasn't. We're in this to get better. So, meanwhile, we're trapped in Fisher's Mine. Let's finish with just a few puzzles before I have to get going. I went out with my dog, plus someone in chat ruined my mood. Oh no, I'm sorry to hear that. Did I ruin your mood? I'm sorry. Oh, you missed an easy mate too in your game. Okay. So when you were out, I just mentioned that it is not your game that is perhaps something you need to fix. I'm going to still stress that if you would just play good solid lines, okay, good solid lines. Trey, 64 games with every opening. I don't know if you were here when I mentioned studying 500 master games of chess, or even this book, The Greatest Games of All Time, and just play the opening that you study in this book. Just don't worry about playing a specific opening. I remember I had the worst tournament in my life because before the tournament I decided what openings I was going to play. I literally stuck to my guns, and let's say I played Jennifer Shahade, right? I played Jennifer Shahade, I played Louis Eisen, both very strong FIDE master, international master. Not sure if Jen is a women's grandmaster. I think she's close. But basically, I'm sitting next to Grandmaster Joel Benjamin, and I'm playing the Najdorf. I'm playing the Sicilian. And Joel's like, dude, why are you playing the Najdorf against Jennifer Shahade? You always play the Carl Khan so well. And he's right. I didn't think about my opponent. I did not think about the situation changing. I did not think about the fact that I could play a positional opening against her, because she's a hugely strong tactician. Like, she's a much better tactician than me. Why am I playing a Sicilian sharp variation against her? And the same thing happened with Louis Eisen, except that I got him back in the same exact line, just because I knew he's going to play the same line a week after that in another tournament. I beat him. So I improved on the rating points. I had no idea if it was a new round, but we were analyzing. Yeah. Yeah, we get carried away with the analysis, and we really need to post in the forum, if anyone can do it, by the way. subscribe to the YouTube channel so that we can get to 72. I really want to get to 72. 72 YouTube. We need to make it to 100. We're going to do it one subscriber at a time. And then I have to decide where we drop everybody. Chest Bay is the default. But she has a drinking stream going. Tranquilizer. Now your game is not slowing others down. Ron's Benoni is sus. Every Benoni is sus. I don't understand how any Benoni could not be sus. I feel like I should take everywhere somewhere fun for the most part. And by fun, I mean we're going to go to Alexandra Chess. I hope everyone enjoys her as much as I do. She is doing some very serious chess. I will run the ending credits for just a moment to see who we have for new followers. Basically, I want to thank the mods. We got the 3XK. Master John LLC is here. He did not... Did I miss a message by him? Give him a shout out. And of course, the Mistress Iron, who also... The Mistress Iron, Rogan Joe Sloan, for visiting. In any event, thank you to everyone. Cheers and talk to you soon. And of course, the raid from Rogan Joe Sloan. Not just a erstwhile YouTube editor. Please make sure that you join. Or follow on the socials, especially the YouTube. Please get us to #1 in Sweden. Good for him. Ciao.